In 2023, developers Cloper released Sad Satan, a purported horror video game with a distinctive gloomy aesthetic and chilling auditory experience. Exclusively on the platform Steam, the player navigates through eerily dark corridors from a first-person perspective. Devoid of objectives or winning conditions, the intrigue of the game is escalated by its advertising via a chilling backstory found on the perilous dark web. Sad Satan first came into the public eye when it was featured on the YouTube channel Akina Comics on June 25, 2015. The unsettling gameplay content was subsequently brought to acclaim by various English-language media and then gradually gained prominence worldwide. We can speculate that the game's creation might have been part of a marketing strategy to boost traffic on the YouTube channel. Though the exact version featured in the obscure Horror Corner video was never officially launched, a modified clone still saw its release. In this original presentation, the player drifts through monotonous corridors under dim lighting, while being virtual serenaded by a cacophony of looped audio samples, including interviews with infamous killers like Charles Manson. Even popular music, such as the song I Love Beijing Tiananmen, features in distorted and reversed forms alongside audio snippets from Swedish Rhapsody number station. Disturbingly, the game seems to focus on the gruesome theme of child abuse by playing songs speaking to this issue like the Doors' rendition of Alabama Song, particularly the verse, "Show me the way to the next little girl." Creepily, the visual aspects are also pervaded by images alluding to child abuse, chilling crimes, and notorious personalities, including infamous child molesters Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris, and even the horrifying Tsutomu Miyazaki, a Japanese child murderer, cannibal, rapist, and necrophile. Images of renowned figures like former UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and former US President John F. Kennedy, Lady Justice statues, and Colombian footballer Andres Escobar were also included alongside the works of artists Roger Ballin and Walter Sanders, the only other characters. In the game are children who eerily stand idle and do not engage with the player. In the conclusive video shared by Obscure Horror Corner, we see a child suddenly following the player, leading to eye contact damages. A lack of self-defense or healing options at this point in the game inevitably ends the character's life, thereby driving home the game's horror theme even more potently. The owner of the YouTube channel Obscure Horror Corner was interviewed by Kotaku and made a startling revelation 3 days after the previous interview. He intentionally provided an incorrect link to avoid being liable for spreading extreme graphic content that the game Sad Satan possessed. Responding in an amendment to the Kotaku piece, Patricia Hernandez, the initial interviewer, expressed regret for not being more skeptical in her presentation of the game's discovery narrative. She apologized, admitting that the original article could have done more to distinguish between fact and fiction in Jamie's story. The game in its mythical form was acknowledged in the report, but evidence about its concrete existence had been somewhat overlooked surprisingly. The game will be available on Steam after December 2023. It's worth noting that Sad Satan was the last game featured by Obscure Horror Corner before the channel fell into disuse. There is currently speculation suggesting that the game could be a creation of the channel's owner, intended to gain more subscriptions.